If you want to see how you can finally migrate websites to Cloudways without having to hunt random bugs after the migration is over and without having to try 5,000 different migration plugins, keep on watching. In this video, I'll break down the best way and the most reliable way to migrate websites from any host and with any complexity to Cloudways in a few simple steps. Hey, I am Jan Koch, I'm a Cloudways Maverick and I'm the CEO of Virtual Summit Mastery, and over the past few years I've migrated about maybe 300-350 websites to Cloudways following the exact process that I'm about to outline for you in this video. Before we used the Cloudways Migrator plugin, we had tons of problems. I want to be honest with you, it was quite frustrating at times, and now I can laugh about it, but back then I was pulling my hair out, and you can probably tell I'm getting gray here on the sides, and migrations definitely played a role with this. The thing that always kept happening was one of three things. Either migrations would time out, database errors would come up because of timeouts, because the database was too big, the transfer was just taking too long. Then we would resort to splitting up those SQL database dumps by hand. If compressing didn't work, we would split them up by hand into various smaller files and try to upload one by one, which is a pain in the you-know-what. And then if that didn't work, well, we were screwed. You would have to have a custom-built plugin for asynchronous upload and so on. So it wasn't easy. If database issues were coming up and the timeout was a problem, it wasn't always easy. What we also did experience is random bug hunting. And I think everybody who has run a website migration over the past had some weird thing coming up on that other website. Just today, I had a website migration and the URL on the target website, it had Elementor on, but it could have happened with any page builder, I assume. The URL on the target website was set to some temporary URL I had never seen before. And I had to do a manual search and replace in the database to fix that. And obviously this only comes up when you do extensive debugging. So you would have to spend time bug hunting over and over again. And full context, this was not using the Cloudways Migrator plugin because I was not migrating to Cloudways. It was a website for a friend of mine who is not using Cloudways. I don't know why he isn't, but that's his choice, and I helped him with the website. I spent 30 minutes hunting down that bug. I should have charged him. But back to the topic. We have database timeout issues. We have random bugs coming up after migrations. We have settings change after migrations. And then, of course, you have custom code functionality. You have complex sites like WooCommerce, like registration pages integrated with CRMs and stuff like that. And you want to make sure that when you migrate a website, it should work out of the box. And that is what we experience now with the Cloudways Migrator plugin. No more random bug hunting, no more timeouts for the data transfer, either for file transfer or for database transfers. I haven't seen a single timeout yet. Super easy process that even my VAs can execute who have never done this before. Step-by-step process, super easy to follow. And it's the most reliable thing I have ever seen because it leverages Block Vault in the background. They've built a partnership, Cloudways and Block Vault, to make this happen, and you will see in a minute how smooth the entire process actually is. Okay, so let's dive into the migration. Let's head over to my computer and we'll migrate List Building School, a website of mine, to a new Cloudways installation. And the first thing that I want to do is go to the backend and we'll install the Cloudways Migrator plugin. It's a free plugin, so we'll just go ahead, click on Add New, search for Cloudways Migrator, and then we'll install the Cloudways WordPress Migrator plugin. 10,000 plus active installations right now. We'll activate this, and now you can see it has come up here in the menu, Cloudways Migrate. And the first thing that we have to enter is our email address. So in this case, we use jan@virtualsummitmastery.com, and you can already see I agree to Block Vault's terms and conditions. So Block Vault is handling this migration in the background. Big shout out to Akshat and his team. They're doing a fantastic job. And you can even leverage, when we open this in a new tab, you can even have Cloudways migrate the website for free. So you can request managed application migration where the cloud experts of Cloudways do the heavy lifting for you. You can just, as you've seen, click on the link and then you can request a managed application following this process that they outline in the article. You get one free managed migration with your Cloudways account. There's no bugs guaranteed after they're over, but we won't use this, we'll do it on our own. So in this case, we'll enter our email address and click migrate, and this takes us to a migrate.blogvault.net website where we have to enter a few credentials, and in order to do that, we'll go back to the Cloudways platform. And I have gone ahead, I have created a blank WordPress installation here. Not the scope of the video to show you how to do this, but it's very easy. You go on the plus and click on add application. In this case, what we do is we need the URL for this. So let me just copy and paste it. And again, you can see it's a blank installation. And we'll just walk through the fields that BlogVault presents us here with. So we find the destination site URL, which is this one in our case. You can of course go ahead at your own domain to Cloudways and then have that. We'll use the public IP. Then they want the database name, SFTP user and SFTP password. So let's grab that as well. Database name and those passwords. And I do have a clipboard manager, which is why I can have this in one step. So we have the database name, SFTP username and SFTP password, all taken from this access details page right here. Very easy so far, right? Just copy and paste. Now we can set if HTTP auth is enabled, in this case it's not, or if we want to migrate any root directories, or if we want to password protect the website. In this case, we don't want to do any of this, so we just click migrate. Cloudways is now validating the details. LastPass is trying to add this password to the vault, which is not needed. It's just a browser extension firing off, by the way. And now we'll let BlogVault do its magic. And you can see, sit back and relax while BlogVault robots move the website for you. They've already synced the database tables, and now we'll wait until the migration is finished, and then I'll come back to you when the migration is finished. And now you can already see 305 megabytes from 516.69 megabytes are synced, and I'll come back to you when this entire process is finished. Oh, we're getting close, 5%. Come on, you've got this. It's really good to see, by the way, that Cloudways leverages BlogVault for this entire process. Knowing that specialists take care of this gives me personally a lot of security and trust in the process, rather than having to find my own plugin for this, frankly. And that this service is free, even though BlogVault is a premium platform, is ridiculous. It's insane. It's fantastic value that Cloudways is delivering here. Come on, 5%. There's one thing that I'm not is patient. Yeah! Dang, we got it. So they already tell us what to do next. They want us to connect your domain, enable SSL, configure the settings. We're not going to do this, but what I want to show you is that the website is now live and working. So let's click on the domain, wait for it to connect. And there we go. And just look at the images, for example, when we inspect the element to make sure that the images in Elementor have been updated as well. You know that Elementor, or you probably know that Elementor has encoded URLs. And even in those URLs, as you can see, the source URL has been updated. So it's not pulling images from the original URL. It's pulling images from the new URL we migrated to. So you don't have to do additional domain search and replace operations when you're using this Cloudways WordPress Migrator plugin. The pop-ups work. Let me just enter my email address for testing purposes to make sure that the redirect after the pop-up works as well. This was broken in the example I mentioned earlier before, by the way. This is why I realized that the domain wasn't working, because it was redirecting to some random temporary domain. Now you can see I have been redirected to the right URL. So even the redirect setting has been updated properly. And it's just super impressive, I think, that you can now migrate a WordPress site in a couple of minutes, frankly, without having to really understand what you're doing, by leveraging a free plugin where Cloudways is taking care of the premium service backing that free plugin at no cost for you. And this is how you go about migrating the website yourself. What you can also do is you go to the Cloudways panel, go to add-ons, and then you enable the application migration add-on. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And you can select the application and just go through the entire process right here. The first migration is free and the other ones are paid, but they are very, very affordable. You can also always open a support ticket and have the support guide you through the process. They've invested a lot in improving the support quality. It's amazing. And you can see I've already used my free migration, so I'm not going through this entire process. But essentially, you would just select the migration, enter the site details, connection details, and additional details. And there you go. So you would enter the application here where you want to migrate to. In this case, it would be the demo migration example installation. Go to next. Now I have to enter the site details, have to enter the admin URL, the username, and the email or the email address if I want to have subsites. But again, I'm not going through this process right now because I don't have my free migration anymore. So this is how easy it is, and that's it. That is how my team and I have migrated close to 350 websites by now to Cloudways using the amazing Cloudways Migrator plugin. Highly recommend that you give it a try if you want to move websites to Cloudways. I'm not sure why you wouldn't honestly use this plugin to migrate websites to Cloudways. And you already know I'm a big fan of Cloudways. I'm biased, of course, but since 2015 I've been hosting with this company and I've not been disappointed since then. So if you want to learn more about these other plugins that Cloudways have and these other tools and services and how you can make the most out of Cloudways for your agency, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you apply to the agency partner program and download the toolkit that we provide for agency owners and freelancers so that you can make the most out of the resources that we provide for you. And that is how easy it is to migrate a website to Cloudways using the free Cloudways WordPress Migrator plugin. If you want to experience that for yourself and test for yourself how easy the website can be migrated to Cloudways, grab the free trial linked below this video so that you can get a first-hand impression of how magnificent this plugin can perform.